Hey guys, Hank Rothrock, Stuart Academy, Engage, Empower, Educate. I know I've talked to you about the phone program a lot. I feel like I should have talked about the phone program way before teacher versus student. My first year of teaching, it wasn't going well. I was yelling a lot. And I started doing the phone program, and I didn't know what to call it, so that's what I called it, and that's what I still call it. I need to come up with a better name. But it's a big consequence. It's a consequence that I handle everything myself because I sent kids out of my room, and they came back laughing. I'd write kids up, and it didn't change behavior. I'm not saying don't send kids out of your room. I'm not saying don't write kids up. I'm just saying it doesn't really change behavior. That's not completely true. Nothing's 100%. Some kids don't want you. Don't write me up. Are you crazy? Some kids don't want to be sent out. They want to be in your classroom. Some kids want to be out. And so it's a bigger punishment to make them stay. Now you're at Stewart. You're a first year teacher. You're a second year teacher. You're an 11th year teacher, whatever. You're going to send kids out and you're going to write kids up. That's going to happen. I know that as a teacher, you feel a whole lot better if you get that number down and you have more control. Sometimes you have to call someone to come help. Okay. That happens. My whole idea with teacher versus student and phone program is it made me completely, I didn't need anybody. I didn't write referrals anymore because I didn't have to because I handled it. Now, was it a lot of work on the front end of doing it? Yeah. But we're coming back from break, and this is a good time to kind of just start over. And maybe, after Thanksgiving break, maybe that's not it. Maybe after Christmas break. But something to really think about. Come in strong and take them through this. And I'll talk about it, but I've talked about the phone program, but here it is visually. This is what I show the kids. This is after I've talked about teacher versus student. All the rewards they're going to get with me if they do the right thing, and all the good stuff that's going to happen. And then it's like, but you have to know where we stand. And this is where we stand. I call home and I talk to your parent, and we take something away that you love and that you cherish. And I use these words, right? Take your phone away, your shoes away. It's like, if you don't care about your phone, I'm not going to take your phone. I'm going to take your shoes. We're going to take your basketball time away. And they say, that's messed up. It is messed up. I don't mind doing it, though, if that means you're going to act right in class. I don't mind doing it. And I've done it every year, even as a master teacher. And I have a text here I'm going to share with you in a second. But I show the kids this, too. I show them that, okay, if you don't like rewards, I use a little bit of psychology there. If you don't like rewards, that's okay. But, I'm consistent. So here's your rewards. I'll show them reward land. Most days you earn candy with me. Most days you get talking privileges. Most weeks you earn movie time. You can earn good calls home if that's your thing. And then I list my consequences. Or we're going to go through these consequences. I'm going to give you say you don't want to move. I'm going to give you conduct mark. I'm going to give you about 2 minutes to figure that out. And then you can't figure it out. We're going to have a little side conversation. I'm going to tell you all the things that are going to happen. And we're leading up to the phone program. I'll give you another 2 minutes, though, to make a good choice. Then I'm going to call home. And then I go through the whole thing. I got lunch attention on there. That's kind of old. Can't really do lunch attention anymore unless you take them to lunch because we start lunch like so early. It's kind of gotten hard. But once we get to the phone program, these kids can earn this stuff off. If you got 20 minutes of class left, they can earn every step off if they start doing the right thing, right? But if they backslide, we're going right back down, right? So phone program. I have a little script here. I put this, and I will send this this Google slide to you if you want. I've added the text to this, but I'm going to read you the text I sent this year. I'm going to try to not say the names if I can remember to. This was in Miss Lowe's class. We were working together, and I'll cover up the name there. And I texted this, a real text. So I said, hello, this is Mr. Rothrock. I'm a master teacher at Stuart Academy. I hope texting's okay. If not, please let me know. I'm happy to call. So that's something you want to say. Most people like texting. It's more convenient. I've gotten a hold of a lot more parents by texting. Use Remind, though. Don't be dumb like me and use your actual phone. But I'm dumb. Use Remind 101, please. Okay. I'm a teacher for teachers. I've been teaching in Mrs. Lowe's class for about 2 days. And first off, let me say I really like the student. I'm not going to say that person's name. I can tell he's really smart from his work. I give a little compliment. This is their baby. You don't like them, maybe, but this is their baby. He's really smart from his work, and actually he's pretty funny. What I need him to fix is the constant calling out and the interruptions. The way I teach, I let the kids talk a lot, but I got to be able to teach for 2 minutes here and 2 minutes there, and so I can give directions so the kids understand. I do something called the phone program, for lack of a better name, and let me tell you, it works 99% of the time. I team up with the parent. We take away something that he really cares about, like his phone, going out to play, whatever it is. We take that away until he gets a good call from me or Miss Lowe. And I'm good about calling back. I really appreciate your time. You thank them for their time. I look forward to working with you. Look forward to working with you, okay? This is common sense, right? Let me know if you are willing to do the phone program. I have no doubt that we can get him doing the right thing because he's a good kid. Another positive there. I know we can get him on track. I'm confident he's a good kid. I know he's a good kid. You know he's a good kid. We can do this. Feel free to text me or call. Have a good evening, and let me know if you want to do the phone program. Thanks. No one had gotten a hold of this mom, and I got a text back like this, okay? Yes, I'd love to do that. Sounds like a great idea. I'm currently at work. Let's talk later. She basically says, I say, awesome. I found out, what do you want to get rid of, or what do you want to take away? She said Fortnite and basketball. So that's what we did. And okay, let me talk about this. In this class, we did 5 kids almost at the same time. I used the same text. I changed the names. I changed he to she to he, and him to her. And then when we texted these parents out, the kids came back the next day. All 4 of them were good to go. Now this guy, that's why I pointed him out. He was not good to go. He came in salty. He was mad. You took something away from, I can't do anything. You took Fortnite and you took basketball. I'm so bored, blah, blah, blah. He's mad. And that class, although it tamed him down a little bit, he wasn't calling out as much. He was still mad he didn't do any work. So in the teacher's eyes right now, you're thinking, this is a failure. This isn't work. No, you just got to take him through the fire. So the next day, well, actually that day too, he said, this is not how you get Fortnite back. This is not how you get basketball back. I'm working with your mom. She's not going to give it back if you can't do your work in class. But look, hey, you do your work in class, you start working, and I'm going to give a good call, okay? You got to give me 2 days, though, or 1 day, or whatever it is you work out with a kid. Most parents want to say till Christmas or till summer, so you got to calm them down. You got to get it practical. You got to get it back down to 1 or 2 days, 2 good days in your classroom, and then they can earn this thing back. So it turns into a positive, right? So next day, I actually wasn't able to be in there, but apparently Quentin had a good day. We get him a good call home. He gets his stuff back. Now, day after that, he comes in, whatever, blah, blah, blah. He can do it. Did I just say his name? Dang. Anyway, maybe you missed it. I think you missed it, right? So he comes in and is like, wait a minute. What are you doing? He's acting up again. Doesn't matter. Like, whoa. What's going on? I thought you liked Fortnite. I thought you liked going out to play basketball. So now you have an angle with him, and you can hold that over his head, okay? So I got the script there. One thing I wanted to mention real quick, and you got phone, on top of this, you got teacher versus student. So you tell them about all the rewards you got, right? You show them the consequences, and you got a lot of these kids, you got to take them through the fire. On some level, parents might see this as you're teaching them how to parent. Don't look at it that way. Everybody needs help. Everybody needs to understand how to help our kids. I'm telling you, this worked. There was one kid it didn't work with in the last 6 years, and her mom just wouldn't work with me. Then I didn't figure it out that year. Then the next year, this happened again, and what I found out was I took away something here at school. And we can get into some iffy ranges there, but I got the principal to agree to it. And he had to come to my room during that period, and he had to sit there and do his work. And first day he didn't do anything, but then by the second day, he started doing his work. About halfway through class, he's trying to sleep. I'm like, man, I thought you liked playing basketball, And then he started doing his work. And then every time he tried to put his head down in my class and not do work, I said, man, I thought you liked basketball. Another thing real quick was, a young teacher said that they didn't feel comfortable like making this call with parents because they don't have kids and they're so young. Look, we got to do kind of extreme things here to get, this isn't extreme, but we got to take measures that work. And so try this out, like do it hardcore. And I'm telling you, you're going to build capacity in your room. Now, if you just do phone program, you're basically going to be like just a consequence person. And that's, I would guess that's the majority of us in this building, that we do redirection and we do consequences. And that's why I kind of started with teacher versus student and praise the behavior you want to see, because our kids don't hear praise and it works like magic. You praise something. So I really recommend using those things together. This is not that complicated. This is like, here's what we're doing. If you don't want to play teacher versus student or classroom dojo, then we're going to do this, right? We're just going to do consequences. It's not going to be fun anymore. You're just doing consequences. I've put whole classes on the phone program, and I've put just individuals. You know, it depends on where the class is at. It depends on the situation. But I promise you, I wouldn't do this and share this with you if I know it didn't work. I was a teacher in a room for a year that lost his voice every 3 weeks, and that was just yelling at kids. Then I started doing a phone program, and then I got somewhere. But if I just did phone program, I didn't like myself. At the end of the year, I was like, this is not why I got into teaching. I didn't get into teaching to just give kids consequences and be like Hitler. And so I started the the teacher versus student because it helps me be who I want to be. Now, I never thought I'd be putting points on a board and doing this back and forth with students, but it actually, by doing that system, I get to teach what I want to teach. I get to teach how I want to teach. I get to do the fun stuff. I get kids actually give me a chance and listen to me and say, hey, I got a really fun lesson here, right? You just got to give it a chance, you know? That's the other thing. If your lesson's not fun or engaging, then, you know, that's an issue too. You know, if you have an engaging lesson, you have a system like teacher versus student or classroom dojo, and then you have phone program, you have your consequences, you got a triangulation there, and you can make a lot of things happen in your classroom. All right, that's enough of that. Hank Rothrock, ELA Master Teacher for Stuart Academy. Engage, empower, educate.